guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how I turned myself into Captain Jack Sparrow. So let's get started. First things first, you're going to want to grab a reference photo of Captain Jack Sparrow. So I went ahead and popped on my primer and foundation, and now I'm just going to take a bronzer and start bronzing my cheekbones because his complexion is very warm and I am quite pale. Next, I'm going to move on to eyebrows. I'm going to comb them through with a spoolie, and then using a dark brown pomade, I'm going to outline the shape that I want my eyebrows to take. Just do a top and bottom outline, then gradually fill those eyebrows in with product and spoolie brush those out to make sure you don't have too much product caked up in one area. Towards the front of the eyebrow, where you can see it's a little bit sparse, I'm going to make some quick, thin strokes using my angled brush just to create the illusion of having more hair in my eyebrow. Now on to what is probably the most important step in this whole process, which is the contour. So as you can see, I'm going to just use a variety of eyeshadow brushes to draw on my contour. And what I'm basically doing is just examining the photograph that I have of Captain Jack and then trying to trace his features onto mine. So when you look at Captain Jack, you'll probably notice three main features that we need to focus on contouring. That is his nose, his eyes, and his cheekbones. Because his forehead is normally covered up with a bandana and his chin, of course, has a beard. So we're not going to worry about those two areas. I'm going to start off with my nose. So looking at my personal nose, now your nose will be a different shape and may require totally different steps. But for me, my nose is a little bit wider than his. So what I did was contour down each side to make it look a little bit slimmer. I contoured the end of my nose into more of a pointy triangle shape because mine is a little bit more round than his, and then I better defined my nostril area because his is way more defined than mine. Then once you have those basic features drawn on your face or kind of mapped out on your face, you want to spend time blending those in and working those in so that they don't look so harsh. Now when you're doing a character like this, they're never going to look entirely 100% natural, so don't stress. It's not going to look like you magically became a new person. It's definitely going to be contour on your face. It's going to look best from one or two angles possibly, but we still want it to look as natural as we can possibly get it. So what I like to do is just go in with a variety of brushes and add like some highlight colors, some skin tone colors, and just blend out those contours as much as possible while still keeping those very defined shapes that we want to be a convincing character. As you can see, I am moving on to my cheeks now. I, of course, have a very round face, and Johnny Depp has these very high, prominent cheekbones. So what I'm doing again is just drawing out those basic shapes using a flat brush. It doesn't really matter what brush you're using here because we're going to spend a lot of time blending it out. But I'm just using those brown shades and a flat brush to draw out his cheekbones and kind of using my fingers to act as a measurement to measure where exactly they need to go. You're going to try and draw them as similar as possible on each side. That's one thing you do kind of want to focus on a little bit more, is just making sure that both sides of your face are cohesive and they match. Then once you have those basic shapes drawn out, you can take some fluffier brushes and go in and start blending and buffing those edges out and make them a little bit smoother of a transition. This can be a very tedious process. It sometimes takes me hours to get my makeup where I'm happy with it when I'm contouring to like another person. So don't worry if it takes you a long time to get done. Don't stress. It takes everyone a long time to get done. And you will have better contour skills at the end of this, I promise. Every time it gets a little bit easier to do and a little bit easier to understand. So depending on your face shape, just study your face, study his, and try and best replicate his features onto yours and spend tons of time blending and shading and adding highlights and adding more dimension until you're happy with the result. So Jack Sparrow has a very dirty, old-looking, smoky eye effect going on. So I just took my liner and lined my bottom waterline, lined underneath that bottom waterline, and then put a whole bunch of liner on my eyelid, and then took a brush and smudged it to high heavens. Smudged it out as much as I could. And if you need to add little bits of black eyeshadow to it, feel free. We're going to come back in with some brown eyeshadows just to give it some more dimension, and clean up with a makeup wipe if you get crazy like me. And let's not forget about the red X that is always under his right eye. I'm just drawing this on with a red lip liner. And now on to the beard and mustache. So I am just taking bits of this wig that I trimmed off. I just gave this wig a trim. And then I'm taking the little bit of pieces of hair that came off and attaching those using Pro Adhesive. Now I did take 2 larger chunks of hair, tie those off at the ends with an elastic band, braid those, tie them off at the other end, put a little Pro Adhesive on the end so it's going to connect underneath my chin, and then glued them underneath my chin so that you can't really tell that they're glued on. They look just like they're part of my beard. So I'm just going to continue filling in my beard and mustache using my Pro Adhesive and the hair trimmings for my wig. Now if you don't have Pro Adhesive on hand, you can use another skin safe glue alternative to attach your hair. You can use liquid latex to attach this, eyelash adhesive, glitter adhesive. You can use washable glue sticks, anything that's going to be safe for your skin and easy to remove later once you get ready to take this off. Now if you don't want to glue hair or synthetic hair to your face to create the illusion of a beard and mustache, you can definitely do this and kind of create a similar illusion using like an eyeliner pencil, an eyebrow pencil, an eyebrow pomade, or even just like brown eyeshadows, and using a small brush and just drawing on little bitty lines to create the illusions of hair. So you'll just need to do it a lot, and it may take a little bit of time, but it can be done. I do not recommend cutting your beard and mustache with very large sharp scissors, but hey, I like to live on the edge. Now onto hair. I'm going to take out a little thin section near the top of my head and keep that separated from everything else. Then using this pretend red bandana, it's actually a red scarf, I'm going to tie that underneath that little section we separated and over on top of everything else. Now that little section we separated, I'm going to braid that into a very tiny individual braid. Now you can create dreads, which is what Captain Jack wears. He wears dreads. You can create those with a wig. There are ways, but I did not want to ruin or damage this wig in any way. So what I did was just braid sections of this hair. No, it does not look as accurate to character. However, it did save me from damaging a wig or having to purchase a separate one just for this look. Once my full wig of hair was sufficiently braided, I took a little cheap pirate coin and pinned it to that tiniest braid using just a bobby pin. Now moving back to my eyes, I decided they were too dark and needed to be lightened up and kind of dirtied up, so I applied some brown shades to my eyes underneath and on top of my lid. And I also took a darker contour shade and applied those into my cheeks because my cheekbones were not popping quite as much as I wanted them to. Now I'm just going back through and touching up everything. So I'm touching up my beard and my mustache, scooching down those hairs where they may be up a little bit too far, taking those very large scissors. Why do I only own very large scissors? And trimming away those hairs, adding more hairs to my mustache to make it look fuller and more realistic. This glue does dry completely clear, so you won't notice the white glue once it is totally dry. Now, using my brow pomade, the same stuff I use for my eyebrows and the same brush I use for my eyebrows, I'm just going to go in and fill in any gaps, any spaces that look like they need a few more hairs, but I just can't get them to quite stick and stay where I want them. Just draw in a few small lines to create the illusion of a fuller beard. Now my eyebrows were looking a little bit too clean for this look in my opinion, so I went back in with a few brush strokes to create the illusion of kind of a messier, untamed eyebrows. And I also applied a thin coat of mascara to my top and bottom lashes because my eyelashes are naturally blonde and they were standing out very much against that dark eyeshadow. That's the whole look, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you go. Also, feel free to leave me any comments below if you have comments or questions about this look. See you guys next time. Don't pull my beard off.